Boom! Once again, greetings from YouTubeville. Danny Savage, Draft Guru, with part two of our cornerback list, watch list for the fall of 2024. Like I said, we're not ranking anybody. This is just dudes to watch out for in the fall and also the 2025 NFL draft. So after these five guys, it's I think today's July first. Oh yeah, I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say it now before I say it in the middle of my stream. If you like, and subscribe. Doesn't cost a dime. So after I drop this five, we've put out 110 players. 110 players, and it's July the 1st. Take a look, see around. There's a lot more channels, better graphics than me, more stuff hanging around in the background. Like I said, all that stuff will come. Nobody has broken down this amount of players in this amount of time. By the time we get to August 1st, it'll be another 110. That'll put us at 220. And then we throw in quarterbacks, we should be at like 240. So I'm going to save quarterbacks for last. That's like my least favorite position to watch. And listen, man, I know my strengths and I know my weaknesses. And if people can tell you that they have an eye for talent across the board for every single position, they're full of shit. Excuse my language. Because, listen, don't get me wrong, it's common sense. Talent does stand out, but some people just have a better eye for some positions than others. Like I said, I'm not going to do a clickbait. I'm not going to go out here and start saying, yeah, I know this, I know that about all these single positions. But, 90% of them is a pretty decent, 90% is a pretty good, you know. And I also got the Guru and Monica also. I forgot what year the Redskins drafted RG3. They took him in the first round, but also Kirk Cousins they drafted in the fourth round. And I got to the Washington fans, I got laughed at. I said, "Yo, your future quarterback is on the team, but it's Kirk Cousins, not RG3." And everybody laughed. How they were looking now, just like last year when instead of Mozzie Smith, I said Dallas's pick should have been defensive tackle Brian Burress from Clemson because the kid is so athletic. He can play five, he can play three, and he can even play one. And I got told by the so-called Dallas draft guys, I got laughed at. I said, "Oh, absolutely not." Maxi Pad had a half a sack and played defensive tackle with roller skates on, and Brian Burress had about 5 sacks, about 30 tackles, 40 tackles, and he made all rookie team. Once again, I'm right. Like I said, am I wrong? Absolutely. Everyone's human, but I'm right much, much more than I'm wrong. All right. This kid first, we're going to start off with Maxwell Harrison, Kentucky, 6'1", 180. So right off the bat, he has to get bigger. So he burst out of the scene last year with 5 interceptions. So when you have that size, but he needs to get bigger in the NFL to go up against the bigger wide receivers. And I got one kid in this list. He's like, out of his 5, every kid is like super tall. There's like the smallest kid is 6 feet tall. For the much larger wide receivers, we're seeing a lot larger cornerbacks. That's just my 2 cents. Got to roll with the punches. So, like I said, when you have this kid's measurables, and you do 5 interceptions. I mean, he had 5 interceptions. he's going to pop out on people's screen. So he's a name to look out for. Another kid is Benjamin Morrison, Notre Dame, 3-year starter, 6', 190. He's actually the smallest dude on the list. Listen, this is just a watch list. He might be the first corner to come off. It's going to be either him or the Michigan kid. This kid is solid. He's had 9 interceptions over his first 2 years starting at Notre Dame. So, like I said, he's always around the ball. He's a ball hawk. That you can't teach. Some people get it by watching film. Some people get it by the quarterback's eyes, baiting the quarterback. And some people just have a knack for being around the ball more than others. Next kid, I look at this kid as just a projection pick because he didn't do much last year. Tacario Davis, Arizona. This kid is really tall, 6'4", 195. His stats weren't that great last year, but I just threw him in there because I don't want to just, pop out the top 10 kids in my first dropping 110 kids watch list. I don't want to do this. In my eyes, this kid is a potential pick, but once again, when you have that size and you flash athletic ability, it's going to catch people's eyes. Me personally, I'm more of tape one. Then we'll go to the bowl games. I'm talking about senior, East-West Shrine games, stuff like that. And then the third is the underwear Olympics, the combine. That's how I rank everything in my importance. I'm going to draft a football player first before a workout warrior. So that's just me. Everyone's different, but some coaches in the NFL and most draft people, some are more successful than others. Like I said, this is fantasy football for billionaires, and it's amazing how many of them just plain suck at it. But they're rich, so hey, you can't blame them. Next kid, Jordan Hancock, Ohio State, 6'1", 190. Only has 2 career interceptions, but he's a name to look out for. He's been in Ohio State 4 years. And in my opinion, though, if he doesn't have, then he has 2 years of eligibility left. Thanks, COVID. In my opinion, unless this kid goes out there and really, really, blows up, I can see this kid returning. But then again, it also depends if Coach Day stays or not. Because I truly believe if Ohio State doesn't win the national championship this year with this team and this amount of talent on defense, I don't see them ever getting it. And they just have sick talent on offense too. They got 2 running backs, which I gave you a week after the draft, Junkins and Henderson, and they got sick wide receivers. They got Ibuka. The O-line's back. So, like I said, this kid could be, he can transfer out if maybe Day gets fired. The college football landscape is changed, and it's amazing because it's like day to day. You got to watch kids, Next kid is Will Lee, Texas A&M. He's a Kansas State transfer, but he originally started off at junior college, 6'3", 185. So he's going to have to get bigger. He has the nickname, the Blanket, and it's not a wet blanket. That's his nickname because that's how good he covers people. So, like I said, this is no way of ranking people. This is just part 1, and part 2 is 10 names to look out for this fall. And 0 week is coming, man. Last week of August is going to be here. So feel what? 7 weeks, college football's here. Can't wait. I truly can't wait. if I had to make a decision, I'd rather watch college than the NFL. Also, my team sucks too, so you can't. We'll talk about that. Maybe this month I'll do one Dallas video. Maybe I try to do like one Dallas video a month. I try not to do more than that because this is basically a draft channel. So, 110 players down already for July the 1st. Tomorrow we're going to start part 3. And we're going to start off with running backs. And I said it the week after in April, the week after the draft, I said, I see this upcoming draft super heavy on defense, especially round 1. And I see it that's weird. This past draft, you didn't see a running back go in the first round. You're going to see a running back go in this year's draft. It might be at the end of the first round, but I'm going to say you're going to see a running back go in the first round. That's my projection. I think the first round is going to be, I've said it before and I'll say it again. I predict the first round is going to be very, very heavy on defense. But, if you're picking 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, and the number 1 running back could be Ollie Gordon from Oklahoma State. It could be Junkins from Ohio State. It could be Singleton from Penn State. It could be Kyle Monangai, Rutgers. We can keep going and going. I can keep going. That's all I do, people. So if one of those guys is staring you in the face at the end of the first round, you ain't going to get him as it swings back around. So I definitely see it. Maybe you might see like 1 tackle, 2 tackles. I think 2 tackles max, maybe 3 max in the first round. But bro, you could just be throwing darts at the board right now. It's just it's so early. So tomorrow we're going to start part 3, running backs. Everybody have a great day. When you're rocking with the GWO, it's for life. Have a good night, everybody.